I want to talk briefly about a word that I'm very fond of and what it means in the making of poems. And the word is hierarchy and hierarchical structures. And what I think of when I use that word is I think of a kind of triangular shape, in the way that many of you have taught essay writing to freshmen. And basically, what's at the peak of the hierarchical triangle when you're teaching essay writing to freshmen is the thesis statement. And the thesis statement is like a god or a sun in the sky, and it sort of rules. Everything else is subordinate to that. So basically, what hierarchical means is that some things are less important than others, and some things are more important than others. And that if you're made a good hierarchical structure in a certain kind of way, we understand that what is subordinate and is illustrative or exemplary or supportive of the big idea, if it is a big idea, or it could be a big, powerful image that is at the center or at the peak of the hierarchy. Okay? You cannot revise your own poems, and you cannot become a better poet without actually thinking about hierarchies. So you write a draft of a poem, and you type it out, and you look at it, and what you will know that the generative process is kind of a flow. You're trying to stay loose, and you're trying not to think too much, and you're just trying to get the material onto the page. But then you look at it, and you can see, oh, this is what the poem is about. And you could circle it. Or you say, oh, this image of blood here, this really is the powerful image, the dominant image of the poem. And then if you recognize the hierarchy of what the main idea is, or what the main narrative is, or what the main relationship is, you have 4 characters in the poem, but the poem is going to be about the relationship between 2 of those characters. In fact, you can't have equal relations in the poem between all 4 of the characters. Anyway, if you can't recognize what the hierarchy of your poem is, what the center is, what the most important moment is, you can't revise it. Because the whole presentation of the poem should be oriented to presenting that most advantageous moment, that most important moment, at its most advantageous timing and with its radiance. So you shouldn't have a ton of images in the poem which will be drawing energy away from the best image you ever made in your life as so far this month. Or the more